Hello everyone, welcome to Conversation series from Air Cargo Africa. I am Rajarshi Chatterjee from Stat Media Group. Right now, we have Racheal, CEO of Swissport Kenya with us. Hi Racheal, welcome here.
Thank you. And thank you for having me this afternoon.
It's great to have you. We really want to see a lot of women in this sector, and this, what I feel, is still a very much male dominated sector.
Yes, looking at how far we've come, I joined the industry 19 years ago. I think over the years I've gone into meetings and I'm probably the only woman. But I must acknowledge that over the years, there's been progress on that front. Just closer home within Swissport, it's a hot topic for us.
Right.
Because we believe that each person, each different group, brings in a different a set of thinking, which is important in the table. Here in Africa, we have 3 women CEOs. From a ratio perspective, we are at 33%. Swissport has an agenda, has a goal to have 40% of women in leadership by the year 2027.
Amazing.
So for this region, Africa, 33, we're still not there yet. So we're still working on it. But I must admit, I must acknowledge that there has been tremendous improvement from the last 4 years.
So 33% of women across Swissport globally? Or only
The
Africa?
33 is for Africa. I was
Africa,
looking at
oh.
Africa. The statistics is for Africa.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's quite a significant number, and we are definitely looking for a higher number over the years. So what do you think companies like Swissport should do to bring more women into this sector?
One is awareness. And just a bit of this visibility, just bring it out. And it is we, the women, it's we, the company itself, the leadership, to just make it visible that yes, the women who are in leadership and support. And when we talk about support, the support could be in the form of mentorship. There is a mentorship program in Swissport whereby you have leaders supporting women.
Right.
So it's not just on paper that we have this target. It's backed by actions. And part of it is the mentorship program. And also giving women equal opportunities. I think that speaks for itself. But over and above that is making the workplace conducive for women. And I bring that topic up because I can imagine a woman has just come from maternity. How
Exactly,
do you support? So programs around that to support women in their career, because it's a delicate balance between the private, your own personal life, as well as the work. So how do we balance and support the women on both fronts?
So how to manage that, just as a message to young women in this sector, how do you, like you being a mother and this industry sector leader, how do you manage that work-life balance?
The key word is balance. Because it's a balance.
Yeah.
It's a balance. I'm a mother to 2. So girl who is 20 years and the young man is 14, as I had earlier on mentioned. So from a balance perspective, it's one, when you're at the workplace, you're at work.
Right.
And when you're at home, you at work, at home. So when it's there, it's family time, when you try to, I think what I do is that I really set time, dinner times, and I work to making sure that that is respected. And even if I have to work, I will carry work home, but work would only come in after the family time.
Right.
And when you're at work, then concentrate on that. Put all your effort to make sure that you're being efficient. And I think that works pretty well. So being present and doing what you're supposed to do at that point in time. So that is one. Two, I must also admit you can't do this alone. You need a support system. And there's no weakness. It's not a sign of weakness where you put up your hand and say, I need help. And okay to get that kind of support, whether it's from your immediate family or your extended family. We say that a child is raised by an entire village.
Yeah.
So it's okay to lean on village, even on your friends. But in the whole process, very, very important not to forget self.
Right, right. Self time is definitely a very important thing, and setting boundaries, family time, fixing schedules. Now, coming to this cargo sector,
Yeah.
how do you think Kenya's air cargo sector has evolved over the years?
I think if I look back 19 years ago and where we are today, it has evolved tremendously. One, from an infrastructure perspective, two, from regulatory perspective, process perspective. There's been a lot of investments through private partnerships. We are IATA CIV Pharma,
Yeah.
as well as IATA CIV Fresh certified. That's a testament that we are operating within global standards. We have improved over the years. We are challenging ourselves. And when I say it is us, challenging ourselves to be better than what we did yesterday. So that I can tell you that has improved. We are ASAGO certified. If you look at the customs process, become more efficient, how fast that cargo is cleared. Yeah. Then also how we do business, technology has come on board. 19 years ago, there was a lot of paperwork in the cargo process. Now at the warehouse, we have handheld terminals that you just, you don't need paper anymore.
Yeah.
Again, what that brings in is efficiency. It brings in transparency. So it's changed, it's transformed, but for the better.
Right, right. And if we have to talk about some numbers, how do you think the volume of cargo handling has changed over the years across Kenya?
From a product perspective, I think exports has predominantly been your fresh produce, your flowers, your vegetables, herbs come up as well. That's a new one.
Yeah.
That's a new herbs. The volume is gone up. The year 2024, we're doing about 400,000 tons. That is in itself is a growth of about 8%.
Yeah.
So there has been growth over the years. But this market, from an infrastructure perspective, if we look at the warehouses that we have capacity as we speak today, not tomorrow.
Yeah.
But capacity today is at, over 1 million. So that in itself is potential for growth. We've had new products coming on board for export. Meat.
Right.
Meat to the Middle East. A lot of goat on a daily basis being uplifted to the Middle East. But on the import side, definitely the volumes have also gone up.
Okay.
Again, driven by the products, e-commerce.
Right.
Driven by e-commerce. Yes, it can be a bit more structured, but it's there. The young generation shops online, and all this comes in. I think 20 years ago, 10 years ago, if I look at the demand for mobile phones, which is one of the things that we import, one of the commodities that we import, that has also really gone up. So, are we there yet? No. No. There's still room for growth, but we have capacity to grow.
Right. So, in terms of perishables and food exports, so avocados and meat and herbs are the new thing. But flowers, does it still lead the export category?
Yes, it does. So, just to get you to the numbers, I would say imports about 15% of the total volumes, 85% is export. And that export largely flowers.
Okay.
The majority of that flowers are destined to Europe.
Europe.
And I think obviously there is competition. And what we're also trying to do and play a big part in ensuring that the demand for the Kenyan flowers remain. So in our handling, how do we support that demand? How do we support in terms of the handling? Father, I talk about we have flowers that needs to be kept in low temperatures, if possible below 4 degrees, and we're in the tropics.
Right. Yeah.
The temperature is at 25.
Yeah.
So you can already see where our challenges are. How do we maintain that cool chain?
Yeah.
And it's us as Swissport. How do we support that whole supply chain? And one of the things that we've done recently is the flower corridor.
Right.
And we've extended this flower corridor, not just here in Nairobi. We know these flowers. They say the majority of these flowers are to Europe through Liège and Amsterdam. So we extending the flower corridor to destination. That in the event the flowers come in from the farms and there is temperature excursion, we have installed control procedures. We have a vacuum cooler that you're able to bring down the temperature from 24 degrees to 2 degrees in about 20 minutes or so.
Oh.
That's how we support that process. And that's why we talk about the flower corridor.
Right.
And how then, from the moment the flowers get into our facility, up until loading to the aircraft, that's what the corridor is about. We maintain cool chain throughout the entire process.
Right.
So, and now the airlines do their bit, and now we extended that down to destination. That's why I said Swissport Liège as well as Swissport Amsterdam are also adopting the same. That when they offload the flowers, up until they dispatch them, they're doing their bit.
Nice. Yeah, flowers are quite delicate and temperature sensitive.
Absolutely.
So, which airlines do you partner with mostly to make this transport possible?
Okay. We have a couple of airlines that have trusted us. You know, when it comes to this relationship, it's a relationship of trust.
Right.
And they're both passenger as well as freighters. So we have the freighters that we do handle. We have Saudi Cargo.
Okay.
We have Turkish Airlines. We have Rwandair. We have Egypt Air and Challenge Air and Etihad. Then obviously we support the other passenger flights. So your Lufthansa's, I can say either international, regional, local. We want to support everyone. We want to work with all these carriers.
Right. So as we are talking about flowers, how was Valentine's week?
The Valentine week was calm. But for us, it starts earlier. month before, there's a lot that happens. And your question is, how was this year?
Yeah.
It was a good year because there are a lot of factors that could affect that 1 month before Valentine's. One being capacity, whereby you have the flowers, but no capacity to uplift the flowers. Or you have capacity and there are no flowers, because of the weather.
Yeah.
So if it rains, it's too cold, not good for the flowers. So we've seen all.
Yeah.
So this year was good. It was fairly good. Quite a busy month for us. Airlines did increase capacity, and there was produce. So we were able to scale up our operations by about 50%.
50%. Yeah.
In order to support the increase in produce, which is expected,
Yeah.
Valentine's, as well as the world's capacity. And now we're looking forward to International Women's Day
Right.
and Mother's Day. And I'm hoping that the weather plus capacity will be all green, will all be good.
Amazing. So, what do you think are the major challenges in the Kenya's air cargo sector?
I'll tell you, one of the things that's not a challenge is the people, because we have highly trained people. Labor is workforce. Let me call it workforce. We have a young generation that's well educated. So it is us to sell the industry, make it attractive for them. So we can bring in the young talent into the industry. So that's not a challenge. And I know other markets, that's a big challenge. I know Europe, that's not one of our biggest challenge. I think the biggest one is, talked about capacity. That's one. The other one is the whole process around it, the regulatory process. Sometimes just even being able to get permits. I think ease of being able to quickly get into the market and out to go with the flowers. That can be a challenge. I think if I look at the continent itself, and because when I look at the continent, it does affect us. The barriers that we have of doing trade from one country to the other, that is a big challenge.
A lot of these young people, they're into different professions like engineering or medicine or law, but I don't really recall anyone getting into the logistics or supply chain sector.
In terms of bringing in new workforce, getting in new people to come on board, that I think we're able to do that fairly fast. We have a lot of graduates in this country, well educated, but I said it's for us then to be able to support that. And I must say this, there's one thing that we've done also right here in Kenya as Swissport, is that we are taking advantage of that to be able to support other Swissport stations.
Oh.
We are a BPO, and we use the same system. The cargo spot, I think we use the same system for cargo operations. And we can have somebody here in Nairobi doing a certain process for a station in Europe. So from Nairobi, we're able to support 18 stations. And it's just just taking advantage that well-educated workforce that we're talking about, that we're able to easily access this. And again, we're able to support our other Swissport stations.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Racheal. Thank you.